Hello, my name is Dallas, and I'm back with more Crisis Core Reunion to finish up the game today. So, off stream, I went ahead and used Lucky Stars to boost my slot wheel to maximum, and I'm taking off Lucky Stars for this fight to see if it's at all worthwhile to have Magic maxed out for some of the random slot rolls. And I'm going to keep it on hard mode for a maximum of 2 hours, because I found out normal mode substantially nerfs the boss, taking away about 67 million health from them if I have to swap to normal mode. So I'm going to give myself about 2 hours to beat this boss on hard mode. If I can't beat it on hard mode in those 2 hours, then I will knock it down to normal mode for the sake of finishing the game. That being said, jumping right in.
Activating combat mode.
Okay. And we're just gonna try to get through this as best I can. I'm about to find out if it's at all worthwhile to get magic out of this. If this does like 10,000, then I'm not gonna... I don't need to worry about it. So 6,000 damage is not a substantial gain. So if I feel like I'm not getting enough slot rolls, then I should just put Lucky Stars back on, because there's almost no reason to have it. Octoslash is a good roll though.
Concentrate. You're in for it now.
Let's see how summons do. $9,000, so damage cap for that. Low damage there, but I did remove their ability, which is good to know. Gotta play it safe. Lucky Stars is a great roll. That was close. I was really hoping to get that punch in before they use that. Really weird to time that roll. Absolutely not.
Brace yourself.
Mega Flare level 1. Still does damage cap. I can't tell if that's being boosted by the magic. Gonna take that heal. I should have actually probably used a punch first, but it's fine. Gotta heal up. It's way too far away. The magic might be making my heals a little bit better. And punchies. That was a little early. And more punchies. Might get another song. Flash Slash is coming. Then he do. Never mind. Did not get it. I'll take a lucky star though. Never mind. Oh, it was a free heal. And 4,000, so basically nothing. Getting kind of punch into that is definitely rough. And top off my health.
Brace yourself.
I think this cancels their ability, which is good. Seems like it does. Too early. Luckily, I am saving up on abilities. Or potions, I mean.
You're in for it now.
I'll take another Mega Flare. And cancel that fire.
Heads up. Oh no, you don't. Taking you down a peg.
I should live through this. Gonna top off my health to play it safe. I've actually probably waited till I got hit by that. That was a little bit dangerous, but it's fine. I also forgot no physical blocks that. top off my health with that. Rolls are back to normal. Which could delay this. Oop. Man, that's a lot of damage. Any slot roll could really change this. Rather not deal with that. I think they removed my infinite MP0 buff with that though. Two potions to get rid of that. Time for no MP to save at least one potion. Did briefly forget about removing the buff and try to use magic. Again, I should have probably waited on that, but it's not a huge loss. It's close. Cloud wouldn't be the worst unless it reduces my gauge more. Never mind, didn't even get him. I am whiffing a lot of punches. Not the most ideal. They are in the corner. Ideally no slash. I think that removed my buff. Or at least something did, or just timed out. Don't like that. I would rather they didn't. And rolls are really failing now. So Lucky Star, if I do end up losing this, will be the way to go. Let's cancel that move. Got the punch. About a third of the way through my potions. Let's cancel that move. It does seem like for whatever reason they get very stunned after I use a slot move. Like they just kind of stand there. That was probably a little bit excessive, but I just got a feeling they're going to use slash there, but they didn't. It's really hard to roll into them with Krista because I feel like it's too easy to not get out of it if I try to roll at them. That seems like 75% is about the best I can do. I did see that there was one build to use Gil Toss, but I didn't want to farm out 10 million Gil to make that work. Guard against those. But it's almost up. Pop a potion for safety. Give me the Sephiroth. I would love a Sephiroth right now. Perfect.
Concentrate.
I was gonna say I would also take a rush there, but did not get it. 9 potions left, so I'm gonna need to swap soon. Pop 2. Now they're just really using that slash. That's the end of those. I'm gonna hold off on a high potion until after that. Okay. Also, I don't remember getting my provisions that high, and I just happened to notice it now. Could have probably saved that, but it's not like I'm low on high potions. I was stuck in the middle of a punch. Definitely need a high potion there. Let go of the guard too early. Good thing I popped that potion just in case, because I think I was in range to get one-shotted. Almost missed the guard. For safety. And punchies. I think I would have been safe, but if they had gone for that, I would have been in trouble. Pop that. I was hoping to roll out of that one, but did not make the roll. Removed null physical, so I can't block that. And too early. Absolutely not. Oh yeah, they're invincible, so I can't do anything. Guess I'll just eat a couple of these. Just kind of slap at the boss a bit.
Bringing out the big guns.
And I'll pop that because it's a little bit of damage, even though it's not a lot. Time the potion well. I think I just canceled that attack and got myself some more roulette. Like a whole lot more. A Blessed Light was a self-heal. I was not sure what that ability was.
Bringing out the big
Let's
guns.
do that.
Good luck.
So I just realized I have Invincible active. As long as they don't use the one ability.
This'll do. Oh no, you don't. Heads up. That's enough.
I think I discarded that. By pure luck. That was close. A little bit too close.
Better run for it.
And cancel that ability and get a heal. 67,000 is not bad. Need a heal after this one. Get hit by those hurts. Got a little tickle off of that one. The exaggerated part about this fight is if this was on normal mode, I would have won a while ago. But because this is hard mode, I'm only halfway through the health. Also did forget that I got all my magic back at some point, so I should be using Kiraga. I think it was from one of the healing ones. Actually didn't mean to use that. And I don't think it really did anything. Too early? Gonna heal. And they're invincible. Gotta just wait. Need to heal after this one. Thought I got away in time. Gonna do one Kiraga for a little bit of safety. I figured they might do something like that. Don't like them healing. Even though it's not enough heal to cancel a hit, it is basically an extra hit I have to do. does feel like in the later half I am doing slower damage than the first half. That wouldn't kill me, but I also would have rather not gotten stuck in that. Let me have Lucky Star, please. Exactly what I wanted. And while they're using that, I'm free to do this. Get 2 hits. I need them to buff themselves more, so that I can get those free hits in. Put me in safety range. Apparently I have no magic up. And it's gone. No MP, so do that. I think I ran out of the buff right there. I tried to get out of it. Okay. Myself in safety range. Couldn't get them before the buff went off. I should have actually just saved that potion, but it's fine. It's not a huge waste. They are casting those a lot faster. Oof. I should have actually probably saved that at least for one more punch. No heals. Absolutely not. Get another airstrike in. That was close. Like, way too close. Okay. Good, time for that. Got myself some health back. And got the wheel back up.
Brace yourself.
It's on attack again. I don't think it did anything because I think that's a one-shot ability. And this boss cannot be one-shotted, so... I did forget that I got a magic refill. I might just be able to regen through this, but I'm gonna heal for safety. That was definitely a Kiraga or high potion situation. Because I thought my no physical wore out, and they did because they debuffed me.
You're in for it now.
Let's cancel that move. Okay, so that does not one-shot me, but it does put me in range where I could be killed.
Brace yourself.
Got one hit in before perfect guard. Gonna heal up. And now we wait. That's not a bad pull.
Prove your
That could put me in range to get killed by any one of their other moves, and they do cast immediately afterwards. So if I get hit by Ultima, I have to basically immediately heal or I could die. Didn't mean to use Electrocute. Didn't realize I have no magic up. Take that heal. And pop 2 heals because I have no MP buff.
Here we go. Oh no, you don't.
Okay, maybe I should start using my regular combo, at least when I have AP. Especially if I'm out of range for a punch. Take that safe to heal. Because that was in range for that to possibly kill. Guess I'll take that meteor shot. And punches. Please give me more rush assault. I mean, a summon's fine too if it's a good one.
Brace yourself.
Not a fan of that.
Heads up. That's enough.
I should probably just be using my Buster combo to close the distance if I have to like back away a bunch, such as after a slash.
Taking you down a peg.
Like now.
It's gonna sting. Bye now. Heads up. Gonna love this.
It does give me perfect guard, which might speed this up a bit. And I'm gonna assume that,
Oh no, you don't.
yeah, that doesn't break through that. I don't like how that's doing more damage with seemingly every hit. That was a bit risky. Not too risky, but enough that
Taking you down a peg.
it might have just been better to go for a potion. Good time for no MP.
Heads up. That's enough. Bye now.
And I live through that, which is fine. And I can't use my stance. That is doing more every hit. That is a problem, because that means if I miss those ultimate dodges too much, I will lose. In fact, I think the next hit will kill me even at full health. couldn't block that one because I was going for the hit. I don't know if the damage counter resets, and I don't really want to find out. Need that heal. A safety heal. Okay, block counted. I was worried it wouldn't. Maybe I saved this cloud. Like for now. To cancel that Ultima. Rush Assault's a nice roll. I want to pop that before the roulette finished because I think I was about to get Lucky Star and I would lose that damage. Yeah, time for this. Heal up. Not gonna heal, just gonna stall because I can't do anything. Now I'll probably do that. Need that high potion. A little bit greedy with those, but it's fine. That's a heal. That did put me into critical health, but okay, that was close. And I did let myself get a little bit too low health, but I gotta heal. I'm gonna eat this fireball and go for a potion. That's a buff. That's 2 hits. Take this fireball, go for a potion. That's a lot of damage, because I was punching into it. 8 others spamming that.
Bye now. Oh no, you don't. Heads up. This is gonna sting. Bye now. Oh no, you don't.
I do have an ult. Actually, I have invincible up, and it's gone. Three high potions. I do have a lot of X potions still, and also elixirs. Okay, last high potion, then I gotta switch.
Taking you down if this is gonna sting.
I did forget that it swaps automatically, which is good to know. That was too close. Not a fan. Always feels so actively dangerous in this fight. Just one slip up and the whole thing resets. I'll save that till I see Ultima. Unless I see another combo going. Let's maybe actually do that instead, because I don't want to die there. And they're really just spamming that move. Heal up with Kiraga.
Here we go. Gonna love this.
I got him down to 50. That's the best I've ever done on that one.
Warm-up's over.
And I'll take that healing wave.
Good luck.
Get all my MP back. I think I'm invincible for that, so I could have just soaked that damage, but didn't want to risk it. Because I don't know why I'm guarding, I'm invincible. Save that cloud until I need it. I would kindly ask that they stop doing slash for basically ever. I was hoping to save my no MP cost, but I could not do it. And there's the time for Cloud.
Power.
Good time for that to activate right after the ability was over. I got 2 free heals. Didn't think I was going to be able to get out that time. I might have been able to.
Taking you down, if this is gonna sting.
I am invincible apparently. Assuming they don't slash. And there's a slash, so that's gone. Got some free regen there, so I was confident doing that. Absolutely not. So that I know physical up. One other option I could have been doing to speed this up is, if I got to closer to 60,000, I could have just been going for Buster Stance attacks. And just let the regen do work. Potion.
Taking you down a peg. This is gonna sting.
And another potion. Gonna bait that out. Is there another one? Of course there is. And third.
Here we go. Gonna love this. Heads up. Oh no you don't. Bye now. This is gonna sting. Here we go. Oh no
I will say the nice thing about that is even though it does less damage than, say, the punch, it is nice to
Run for it.
not have to worry as much about them just backstepping to avoid it.
This'll do. That's enough.
And heal. Kiraga does not push me up quite as much as I want.
Bye now. How about this? Oh no, you don't. Taking you down a peg. Gonna love this.
A lot of damage there. There's a rush assault maybe coming in.
You're in for it now.
That was a very close and very awkward timing for that.
How about this? Oh no, you don't.
Bunch of good punches there.
Heads up.
I think there's another slash coming in. I was in death range. And there it is.
Bye now. Gonna love this.
Just gonna top off my health. That might be risky territory, so let's not do that.
This'll do. That's enough.
Fade that out so I can do this. Probably gonna do another one. Of course they are.
Bye now. This is gonna sting. How about this? Oh no, you don't.
Need heals. Like real bad.
Here we go. That's enough.
And punches.
How about this? This is gonna sting.
It also does seem like that staggers, which is nice.
Here we go. Gonna love this.
It's way too far away for the punch.
Heads up. Oh no, you don't. This'll do. This is gonna sting.
Oh, physical, which only blocks one move. It's not that one. Is that one? But I wasn't able to get much out of it. Didn't think I was gonna dodge that.
Fly now. Gonna love this. Here we go. That's enough.
Okay, last Kiraga that I can afford.
How about this? Gonna love this.
That was the wrong way to roll, but I got the potion, so it doesn't matter. I think I need to start working in some smaller hits just to keep their health going down. Gonna top off my health.
Taking you down a bit. This is gonna sting.
Okay, now let's do this. And so between slashes, I'm gonna go for small hits like that. It's not a huge boost in damage, but it is enough to make it worthwhile.
Heads up. Gonna love this.
Especially if they back off instead of doing multiple.
This'll do. Oh no, you don't.
Let's not get hit by that again. Didn't get out of that in time. I don't know if I had enough physical up, but I did see something to say guard. Need a potion, because one more slash will kill me. Can do another. Of course they are. Almost down to elixirs, which means that I will start getting magic back. So I will also be using less elixirs. Do that for safety. Good time for no physical. And it's gone. No AP, so I can't charge in unless I do that. Okay, pop one of those, or I will be in death range. Gonna do another. Almost wasted a potion. It seems like they stopped doing their buffs. And I don't know how I feel about that because I kind of preferred it when they did. That was way too close. Gonna cancel that Ultima. And punchies. Do that. Like a Lucky Stars or any of the really good attack ones. If Roulette Wheel could be a bro. Need to get that potion off. Was ready for a different attack, but it's fine. I feel like at this point I'm just kind of always expecting the slash because they are likely to use it back to back like that. I need to heal. Give me Cloud. I'll be fine with Cloud. I mean, case Sith also works. Anything that would have let me cancel Ultima would have been nice. There we go. Got the cancel. Another Cloud. Doesn't hurt. In case I need it for Ultima, I do not get it. And punchies. It is safe to heal. Gonna do another safety heal. I'm gonna save that airstrike unless I start seeing something else popping up like that. Got lucky there. I don't think that does any major damage, but I will gladly cancel Ultima with it. And I got a whole bunch of magic back, which is nice. It's a really rough hit. So no reason to get greedy, because as far as I know, that could be like 300,000 health left. Oh, let's pop lucky stars. And cancel that Ultima. Okay, I can cancel Ultima one more time. Gonna cancel that slash, because I do see Aerith popping up. Full heal and a cancel ready if I need it. Gonna take that heal and the cancel, because I do see Rush Assault popping up. And 1,000 needles. Kinda wanna watch this one because I got it really late. Oh, I got it. First try, and it took me an hour and a half. Oh, that's real satisfying. I fully expected to die like 6 times, bump it down to normal, and then just sweep the boss. But getting it first try in hard mode is great. Well, at least first try this stream. I did try it a bunch of times times the prior stream, but today was like the ultimatum of I have to finish it. So I'm planning to take care of this thing that's been in the back burner forever. All the bigwigs and everyone in Soldier are freaking out that it's returned to the Soldier Legend. Source of the problem was apparently more powerful than a summon. Materia reaction was so beyond measure, the gauge started to smoke. In fact, the materia power was so intense that other monsters and even robots became overloaded. The Mako and started going berserk. Anyway, I was thinking, this Soldier Legend, could they be talking about you? Incredible. Gonna save that. Special accessories that provides multiple effects when equipped. Same as Smart Consumer. Equip magic to be cast twice. Detection of target status. HP, MP, AP, all at 9,999. Adds every effect to attacks with a base activation rate of 100%. Stun and stop are permanent. Absorb all elements. Automatically use potions when HP drops under a quarter. Doubles gil. Items and materia dropped. Increases enemy drop probability. Guarantees successful steal. Items dropped or stolen will always be rare. Permanent curse status while equipped. What is permanent curse? I think it's just this, but better. Boosts all stat parameters, breaks attack, HP, magic, and adds Libra. So ironically, other than it giving me luck, it is definitively worse than the one I have on. So I can no longer get roulette rolls, but it basically makes me a god. Did it say it sets the damage limit? Because if damage limit gets set there, then I'll just swap that one in, because all I really lose is permanent crits. It'll be in mail. It sets the HP limit. So ironically, I don't think it's better than the Genji shield because of the barrier. It's probably better than the Genji armor. And one more save. Time to get the last trophy and then beat the game. Oh, hi. The other thing is I'm not healing and I can't get staggered. It's been so long since I've had to do story that I kind of forgot where I need to go. Heaven materia. I think this is back the way I came. So I think I need to go either up that path or through here, but this looks like a secret. Ground materia. Those seem like things for main story objective. Star materia. all of this area I would say seems optional, but it is taking me towards the objective. Make sure I clear everything back here.
Activating combat mode.
Out of the way. Here we go. This is gonna sting.
Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah.
And I already have DMW max, so it's not like I need more rolls. Maybe this was the entrance. And I was just misremembering that path over there.
Activating combat mode.
Bring it on. Heads up. That's enough.
Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah.
So I am looking forward to see how much I just stomp the story boss. Factory basement. That actually sounds more like a place I've been. So then I guess there's one area that's clearly marked for story, and then one area that's not that I can interact with. Is the door locked? No.
Activating combat mode.
Taking you down a bit. This is gonna sting.
Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah.
And also you have enemies are weak to those. It is a permanent debuff. Why is there another save so close to the other save? Hex potion? I mean, I guess I did burn through a lot of those. Mug, which I don't really need. I think this looks like one of the things I need. The prisoner escapes, he's gravely wounded. His life is saved, however, by a woman of the opposing nation. He begins a life of seclusion with her, which seems to hold the promise of eternal bliss. But as happiness grows, so does guilt of not fulfilling the oath to his friends. These are for the trophy.
I need a key.
So is there anything here before I head back and go for story? I don't see anything, and there seems to be nothing I can interact with. Because the way that the trophy that I still have left works, is that I need to not enter Lake of Oblivion until I've read all 4 of those tablets. So that is the basically clear condition that I still have left to actually do. Infinite Mystery, the gift of the goddess, is what 3 men seek, but their fates are scattered by war. One becomes a hero, one wanders the land, and the last is taken prisoner. But 3 are still bound by a solemn oath to seek answers together once again. Lake of Oblivion, so that's the end. I don't want to go there.
Activating combat
Out of
mode.
the way. Hack. Later.
Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah.
Meaning this way should be fine. Portal of Severance, this is one of the ones. war sends the world hurling towards destruction. The prisoner departs with his newfound love and embarks on a new journey. He's guided by hope that the gift will bring bliss, an oath that he swore to his friends, though no oath is shared between the lovers. In their hearts, they know they will meet again. There's one more tablet. Somewhere. Gonna go ahead and... save real quick, just to be safe. Wait, actually, I need to read the 4 tablets and then go to the Lake of Oblivion.
The elevator's not here.
Depths of Judgment should have prologue. So I feel like I shouldn't go there yet until I get this cleared out, so that's at least 3 tablets read. So I've read Act 1, 2, and 3, and somewhere...
Activating combat mode.
Bring it on.
I'm Alvaro.
Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah.
Somewhere in here there's supposed to be a prologue. Oh, it's right there? So now I go over here. Life materia. I interact with all these springs.
Activating combat mode.
Heads up.
Oh, they're stopped forever. And punches.
Resolved.
The end.
After doing all 5 springs, it'll open up a new area.
Activating combat mode.
Gonna love this.
And they're stuck forever.
Heads up. Oh no you don't.
Conflict resolved.
Okay, all 5 of these, once I activate them, open up something else. And when I guess, go to that, that's when I get the last trophy. And then the only thing left is to beat the game without changing the difficulty, since I'm already starting on hard mode.
Here we go. Gonna love this.
Conflict resolved. Activating combat mode.
Rude. How about punchies?
Conflict resolved. Activating
This'll
combat
do.
mode.
Oh no you don't.
Conflict
I
resolved.
actually didn't realize that one of the abilities I have on is death. Cage opener. Yep, only thing left. Also, just to make sure that no settings were weirdly changed. Yep, still showing hard. So assuming nothing went wrong with the trophies popping, as soon as I finish the story I'll get a platinum.
Conflict resolved.
Key should open a door somewhere. Nothing in here.
Conflict resolved.
And I wonder if the key was for the jail cell or if it's for these doors. Graviga. Nothing in there.
Activating combat mode.
Some rad robots
Taking you down, this is gonna sting.
who are stunned forever.
Love this.
Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah.
This key should open a door somewhere. No way to open that.
How about this? Oh no, you don't. Here we go. Gotta love this.
Conflict
Oh
resolved.
yeah.
I'm guessing each of these paths leads to one of those cages I can't open. But is there anything actually in them that I need to grab? Also, I do like how the objective distance is question mark. Dispel Blade. It's not like I plan on swapping out any materia at this point, because why bother? I effectively have max of every main stat I need, and the only thing I might swap is accessories if I decide that for some reason I need Endure or Regen.
The key doesn't match.
Well, that's a weirder one.
Heads up. Oh no, you don't. Taking you down, if this is gonna sting.
Conflict resolved.
So does that mean I need to go back this way and maybe fight the behemoth that's over somewhere?
Activating combat mode.
Bring it on.
Unless somebody else drops a key.
Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah.
Guess I can try the behemoth. And I guess I wonder what is the purpose of this optional area. Like, it seems like there's some random treasures, but I'm not actually really getting anything that's major or unique. Is it just an optional area too? I guess opening the path is obviously for the trophy, but I guess I kind of figured
By now. That's enough.
like it would lead me to something significant. Guess I'll see if I can get into Howling Fang with the keys I have.
Activating combat mode.
Heads up. Oh no, you don't.
Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah. The key doesn't match.
So there's definitively a locked door over there. So either one of the enemies drops a key who I haven't encountered yet, or I need to continue a story to get whatever lets me in there. I kind of just want to look this one up, even though it's not for anything, just to see if I miss anything. Maybe I need to go back to the factory.
How about this? Gonna love this.
Conflict
Oh
resolved.
yeah.
Because it's basically just saying that
Activating
the
combat
chests have the things that open up the prison doors, so I'm guessing those are the key items that I found. Because I don't need the trophy guide, which is what it seems to be defaulting to. I need a guide for what happens after the trophy.
Activating combat mode.
How about this? This is gonna sting.
Conflict
Oh
resolved.
yeah.
And the only thing that comes to mind is that either I missed a chest somewhere, or one of the enemies dropped something I need and I haven't encountered the enemy who happens to drop the thing I need.
Activating combat mode.
Bring it on.
Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah.
My other guess would be like there's a chest somewhere in this area, because I didn't really explore this area very thoroughly. But I just kind of assumed that... Oh, there's one. A being materia. And also I did find a better reference, so it does seem like a lot of these keys are just tied to enemies that I might not have encountered.
Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah.
I say, weirdly, that one didn't get stunned with the 100% chance.
Conflict
Oh
resolved.
yeah. The key.
I dislike how it doesn't show me what the door is, because that
Activating combat mode.
it tells me what enemies drop which key and for which door, but it doesn't say what the door actually is. Which kind of defeats the purpose of having them being named.
This.
Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah.
But basically what I'm seeing is
The key to.
nightmares drop 2 types of keys. I haven't run into movers yet, so I'm thinking it would be movers.
Activating combat mode.
These are nightmares.
Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah.
Activating combat mode.
Out of the way.
Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah.
Maybe I need to be in like a cell to fight one of the enemies.
Activating combat mode. Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah.
Activating combat mode.
Bye now. Oh no you don't.
Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah.
I saw an interaction on one of those benches.
There's writing on the wall.
Hi, me, Cigar Barzal at Ruse. I took this job because I heard it paid well, and I know they really send me here to become a test sample.
Activating combat mode.
Bring it on.
Conflict resolved.
Ringer. Oh yeah.
See, I'm only running into nightmares and the robots, which are not the movers. And that's also not the evil eye or
Activating combat mode.
whatever the other one is.
Conflict
Oh
resolved.
yeah.
Says gross panzer, but I don't know if that's just one of the types of robots or if it's a different enemy altogether.
Activating combat mode.
I will say this is inherently a weird area to have. I mean, they've done it before where they had enemies drop keys to things, but it feels like the enemy who drops it should be closer to where the door is, but I'm not seeing them.
Conflict resolved.
Ringer. Oh yeah.
Seems like I can't fight while I'm in a cell.
Out of the way. Taking you down a peg. Got him.
Conflict resolved.
You know, like, unless I think these rooms are too small, so I don't think they spawn enemies. me. So I found all the optional materia. I've got a space, sacral, and throat. So I need movers for 2 of them.
Activating combat mode.
Like, it's entirely possible that the movers are in a different area.
Resolved.
Oh yeah!
Activating combat mode.
So maybe I just need to go back and wander somewhere else.
Conflict resolved.
My hope is that they're not by the behemoth, because I ran through there a few times and didn't run into any
Activating
monsters.
combat mode.
And I'm only seeing 2 monster types here, which is not what I need.
Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah!
I guess I'll just wander around here to see if I run into any monsters. Or maybe I continue through the story door to see if it gives me one of them. I can always save and like reload in a worst case.
Activating combat mode.
Here we go! This is gonna sting!
Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah!
It also is slightly weird that none of the monsters out here actually give me anything. Keep wanting to default to the triangle to save it. I think that's what it tends to use everywhere else, but now here it's missions. I need to not go that way.
Activating combat mode.
Heads up! Gonna love this!
Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah!
That's back to the lake, so let's go this way. Maybe once I slot in whatever's needed for that story thing, then I'll get to somewhere I need to be to open the other keys. If I happen to find one of the enemies on the way, then even better.
Activating combat mode.
How about this? Oh no you don't! Heads up! Gonna love this!
Conflict
Oh
resolved.
yeah!
Because there's still an elevator there, so I'm thinking I should be fine. What's this?
Some kind of console? The pedestal has 7 indentations. If I set goddess materia in these indentations, that door will open. Is that it?
See further, set the 7 goddess materia on the pedestal of the portal of Severance, light, heaven, ground, star, life, being, and Sabbath. 4 hidden somewhere in the depths of judgment, and 3 can be found at the Lake of Oblivion. All of them have to be collected and placed on the pedestal. So I think I missed one. I missed one.
I don't...
So I am missing 1 materia. Feel like I'm missing Sabbath. Because I think I found 4 here. And I don't feel like I found 3 in here. And I would be right. Maybe before I commit to placing this materia in, I just wander around in front of the behemoth to see if an enemy spawns.
Activating combat mode. Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah!
If one doesn't spawn, then I'll assume it's a later thing.
Activating combat mode.
Got him!
Conflict
Oh
resolved.
yeah!
So this is giving me the same enemy types that were outside. Which kind of tells me that I won't find one of the enemies I need. Some more writing on the wall.
There's writing.
Volunteered to be a test subject. Soldier conditioning was just not enough. I needed to become stronger, but look at me now. Better than soldier, I'm weaker than a grunt. Give me my old self back. See, the enemy type I'm looking for are movers. Or I guess evil eyes. Also, was the purpose of these caves just to be like a shortcut to this area? Because that seems to be my guess. Like there's another cage I'll be able to open up somewhere that lets me through here.
The key.
I guess I'll just continue with the goddess materia and see where it takes me. It seems like it's also not wanting to spawn, but if it's giving me the same enemy types as out here, then that's probably not it. Went the wrong way.
Activating combat mode.
Bring it on!
Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah!
Activating combat mode.
VII!
Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah!
Death is definitely a real nice proc. Oops.
Activating combat mode.
This is gonna sting! Bye now! Oh no you don't! This'll do! Gonna love this!
Conflict resolved.
Easy enough. And I'll save it.
Genesis is up ahead. I'm sure of it.
Am I ready for the final showdown? So obviously two things then.
The elevator.
Does that mean the elevator's a thing after this? And also, where are the movers that I'm not running into? Let me get the area name to see if I can find anything to like narrow it down so I'm not fighting the same two enemy types when I should be somewhere else. Also, I did see the reward for this, and it's definitely not worth it, but... It just says in the room with the death machines. Maybe having to read the writing on the wall beforehand. I guess I'll make sure there's no more writing on the wall.
Activating combat mode.
Out of the way. Got him. This is gonna sting.
Conflict
Oh
resolved.
yeah.
And as I did already read the writing on the wall in one spot,
There's writing.
that's the same writing.
Activating combat mode.
Bye now.
So apparently I'm just getting bad luck with the enemies.
Heads up. Oh no, you don't.
Conflict
Oh
resolved.
yeah.
Activating combat
There they
mode.
are.
Conflict resolved.
Oh
Got
yeah.
a solar key. And more door.
Activating combat mode.
This'll do. Gonna love this. Bye now. Oh no, you don't.
Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah.
The key does.
Another one for that one. Nothing in here. That one's busted. And a path over here. Yeah, it seems like the only purpose of this is it gives me some last minute materia. And I guess possibly experience. Laboratory key.
Activating combat mode. Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah.
I actually think because of the curse, I can't hit max level right now. Because I think with the slot wheel cursed, I'm not able to get the level up roulette. But also, I don't think there's enough fights in the game to push me up to max level, even if I did add it.
Activating combat mode.
This'll do. Gonna love this. How about this? This is gonna sting.
Conflict resolved.
And if there are enough, then oh well.
Activating combat mode.
This'll do.
guess the mover dropped the other key I needed.
Conflict
Oh
resolved.
yeah!
Because I wasn't paying attention. I thought that was a laboratory key was gonna lock that one. Nothing in here. Door in here. Where's this go? This goes... This is one of the shortcuts, I think. A shortcut to somewhere. I think none of the places I need to go. Looking at that area seems to show one of the rooms I've already been to. Phoenix down. I have plenty of because they weren't useful on the fight that I thought I was going to need them for.
Activating combat mode.
How about this? Oh no you don't! This'll do! That's enough!
Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah!
Got his throat key, which apparently takes me to Howling Fang.
Activating combat mode. Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah!
Third eye key obtained. I think this is a shortcut to one of the first rooms. At least that's my guess. Yes it is. So this will be the last stop. Assuming I don't come out behind the behemoth.
Activating combat mode.
Got him!
Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah!
Activating combat mode.
Big robot tank there. Two punches to get through that one. Oh, that's the Gross Panzer. I think that should be every key type. Nothing in here.
There's writing on the wall.
My biologist itself was supposed to perform the experiments and had them performed on me. Just because they're short of samples, they decided to make me into one. But my vengeance one day. Treasures. To stat materia.
Activating combat mode.
Later!
Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah!
I think this is the shortcut. No, I've definitely not been here before.
Activating combat mode. Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah!
I am starting to get slightly lost. Like, I guess I should be focusing on the big glowy doors.
Activating combat mode.
Okay, so there's just another way to get to where I just was.
Oh yeah!
Activating combat mode. Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah!
But I think I should have all the keys, so as long as I see a glowy door, I should just be able to approach it and go through.
Activating combat mode. Conflict resolved.
The end!
Then if I get to the one with the behemoth, I just go through that, and then that should be the last one. That took me out here. I don't have the key for that. So the one I just opened should have been the last door. Now I just have to remember where it is so I can find the other door to, I guess, get the key for the last one. To fight the mini-boss. Wherever that happens to be. It's not up there.
Activating combat mode. Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah!
Yeah, somewhere there's another door that I can go through.
Activating combat mode.
Later!
Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah!
If I were to guess, it's going to be the door that takes me behind the behemoth, and then I get the key from the behemoth that opens the cage. Like, yeah, the way it's laid out, it seemed like the door that I just went to was supposed to be the last one. But I did them out of order, so now I have to find the door that I missed.
Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah!
There it is. I think I walked through one of the holes in the wall, and then it took me somewhere that let me progress. Treasure. There's the Iron Bar's key, which is the last one.
Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah!
And now I guess I can just go back up this way.
Activating combat mode.
Got him!
Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah!
And pop a quick save, even though I'm pretty sure I should be fine for this fight.
Activating combat mode.
Oh no you don't! This'll do! That's enough! Bye now! Gonna love this!
If it's a behemoth and they get staggered, I can just unlock them.
Here we go! How about this? Gonna love this! Taking you down a that's enough! How about this? Gonna love this! Taking you down a oh no you don't!
Got the Behemoth King.
Conflict resolved.
Key to open that. I also still have the laboratory key, which I don't think I've used yet. Still no idea where the laboratory key is supposed to be used. Seems like that path is locked off. I think I'm just gonna continue with the story, because the only thing left would be to find out where to use that key. So I think I'm just gonna continue on, because all that really gives me would be a little bit of lore on Genesis.
My soul, corrupted by vengeance, hath endured torment to find the end of the journey. In my own salvation, you're late.
Loveless again.
You have succeeded, Angeal's spirit, and carry a part of Sephiroth within you. Thus, the three friends are reunited once again. And Loveless is reenacted.
No! Open your eyes, Genesis!
When the War of the Beasts brings about the world's end.
I've come here to help you.
The goddess descends from the sky. Wings of light and dark spread afar. She guides us to bliss, her gift everlasting.
What is that?
The gift of the goddess. A heavenly boon found only in Benora.
I thought the cells were the gift.
There are various interpretations.
I don't understand.
To ponder the mystery is in itself a gift. We will all join the life stream. You are no exception. The planet has become my guardian.
Keep talking to me. Don't let it take over. You're not a monster. You're one of us. Damn you!
Activating combat mode.
Final boss time.
Heads up! Bye now. Gonna love this. Taking you down if this is gonna sting. Heads up! Oh no, you don't. How about this? This is gonna sting. Heads up! Gonna love this. This'll do.
I feel like this fight's gonna be extremely easy compared to the one I already had to do.
Gonna sting. Taking you down a peg.
And that the boss is already at half health. She didn't realize they're weak to every type of magic.
Love this.
And I guess I won.
My soul, corrupted by vengeance, hath endured torment to find the end of the journey in my own salvation and your eternal slumber.
Does this mean you knew from the beginning?
Stand and fight, soldier first class. Zack?
Why is everyone always pushing things on me?
Activating combat mode.
Taking you down and that's enough!
That's about...
This'll do! Oh no you don't! Ah! Bye now!
Already almost won.
Heads up! Oh no you
Two
don't!
good hits and that'll be it. And punchies.
Got him!
Shinra attacked us.
Save your strength.
I got some help. From him. Over there.
It's you.
Director!
Thank you.
Okay, let's eat.
Sorry I'm not the real thing, but
Is it good?
yeah.
The gift of the goddess.
This apple? Huh?
And Gio. The dream came true.
How are you? I wish I knew where you were. It's already been 4 years now. This is the 89th letter that I've sent to you. But I don't even know where to send them anymore. I really hope that this final letter that I'm writing gets to you. By the way, the flowers are selling very well. They make everyone so happy. Thanks to you, Zach. Aerith.
4 years?
What do you mean, final?
Aerith. Wait for me. You're gonna make it too. You got that?
This must be an important matter if they are sending the two of us.
Apparently the subject will become our brother.
Is that so? But will he
Accept his fate willingly.
Even if the morrow is barren of promises, nothing shall forestall my return. To become the dew that quenches the land, to spare the sands, the seas, the skies, I offer thee this silent sacrifice.
Cisne! The army's mobilizing. Find the targets before they do.
Understood. The army won't be as subtle.
I want them alive. You hear me? You're going to save Zack's life.
Of course. I haven't even told him my real name.
Help them. Cisne, I have letters for Zack. 88 of them.
I'm just kidding. You know I wouldn't do that to you. We're friends, right?
They can't be serious. There's no way we're gonna find 2 needles in a haystack this size.
There's no mission that's impossible for the
Turks, yeah.
Also, Sung apparently has something to give him.
Who? The target? So we're couriers now. Delivering packages to fugitives, huh?
Reno, Rude, status.
We got nothing.
You?
Likewise. I'm heading to point 235. You two take point 120.
Roger.
All right, let's get going.
Boy, oh boy. The price of freedom is steep. Embrace your dreams. And, whatever happens, protect your honor.
As soldier! Come and get it!
Activating combat mode.
And Reddit.
This is gonna sting! Got him! Oh no you don't! Bye now! That's enough! This'll do! This is gonna sting! How about this? Gonna love this! This'll do! That's enough! Here we go!
A lot of soldiers just charging in. Also, apparently they reacted.
Zach, I gotta go.
I was gonna say they just reactivated the roulette, removing the curse, but apparently it's for story reasons.
Taking you down a peg. This is gonna sting. That's enough. How about this? Oh no, you don't. Taking you down a peg. Here we go. This is gonna sting. Bye now. That's enough. How about this? Later. Hey, got him.
It also seems like I can't really do anything about those helicopters, I just have to avoid the missiles.
Here we go. Gonna love this. This'll do. That's enough.
So I'll go for a heal there. Hoping I could get that Ultima off in time. Maybe after this one. Yeah, helicopters are guarded against that, so can't do anything to them. Ultima seems the fastest way to get through this. Assuming I don't get interrupted by missiles. Yeah, it is kind of a shame that I can't actually hit the helicopters, so I just have to let them hit me pretty much. Also, I didn't realize I was max on elixirs. Might as well be using those, because I'm pretty sure this is the last fight. If there's a fight after this, I would be very surprised. Especially if this fight somehow takes 99 elixirs. Unless this is endless. I would hope not. Also still getting slot rolls, despite having no soldier points. Like these missiles stop. Guess I'll just clear out this group. This feels like a fight I'm supposed to lose that I'm just absolutely refusing to lose. Still no clear way to deal with those helicopters that I could tell. Frankly, just too strong. I got a little bit greedy there. Like, my hope would be if I'm supposed to lose this, then the soldiers should be doing more than 0 damage. And also, I don't know if it matters if the roulette's still going. I feel like the purpose is that I'm supposed to build up SP from fighting them and then not get hit by the missiles until the roulette finishes. I am getting points there, and then it very quickly depletes. But it only depletes if I get hit by missiles. At least it looked like it only did. So is the goal to build up points and then not lose them? Or is this end this fight that I'm supposed to lose? It's got to be one of those two options. Maybe I just don't use Ultima and just try to farm points. It also seems like getting hit with the missiles in any situation reduces the count. Like, even if I guard it, it still, like, eats my points. Yeah, that still drained my points. I need to not get hit by any missiles for any reason and clear out soldiers. And maybe something will happen if I do those things together. Otherwise, nothing will happen, and this is supposed to be a fight I lose. In which case, I just need to let 3 missiles hit me and then end the fight. But at this point, I'm committed to figuring out if there's another method. It stopped me at 1 hit point.
News springs about where
I'm a country
I
boy
can
too.
be pretty
Like
cheap.
you've been
If
there.
only I were so
Honor
can be
I really
quite
like that
a
sword.
burden.
Thanks.
A monster's
I
objective.
really like
join
that
my
sword.
battle.
Nothing else out
Zack,
there. Hold on.
you have my thanks.
Hello?
And fade to black.
Activating combat mode.
Hello? Don't worry. That's right. But
Wanna hear?
Not scary
Work
at all.
stuff?
Will I see you again? I'll be here.
That's right. You're gonna live. You'll be my living legacy. My honor, my dreams. They're yours now.
I'm your living legacy.
Embrace your dreams. If you want to be a hero, you need to have dreams.
Thank you. I won't forget. Good night. Zach.
That girl. She said that this guy frightened her. But it must feel so good up there. Those wings. I want them too. It does feel good. If you see Aerith, say hi for me. Hey, would you say I became a hero?
Okay. Well, assuming nothing goes wrong, that should be the end of Crisis Core for me. I do slightly regret not doing extra work to hunt for that where that laboratory key was used, but oh well. Probably just a little bit of lore, which I'm not super worried about missing out on. And I guess for overall thoughts on the game, I do think the game overall was relatively solid. I think from the completion side of things, it got a bit too tedious, especially once I started having to go through all the missions. I feel like it's about to go to a cutscene. Maybe not. But yeah. And I think a lot of that comes from, obviously, this is a port of a PSP game, and I do think that mobile games had like handheld games had a tendency to really try to pad out the content, especially if it allowed them to reuse assets, because people are traveling, so it was intended to be something that they chip away at and not something that they binge through. And for better or worse, the port kept a lot of that. And as was probably pretty obvious, I was using a guide for almost all of this because I was alerted in researching the Platinum that things were missable. And that there was no methodology to like go back to chapter select and get anything I missed, which was the case with the Final Fantasy VII remake. So it is a bit of a shame that they didn't bring back such a huge quality of life thing, especially because in 7 the remake, they use it to hide secret bosses or things like that. So while I do feel like having to use a guide feels strange for a playthrough, it's better than the alternative of getting to the end of the story and then having to replay the entire game just for the Platinum. Which, if I had gotten to the end of the game and realized I missed something, I would have probably not gotten the Platinum. I would have just skipped it. Because replaying the entire game and doing every mission again is not doesn't seem like it would be worth the effort. Because even if only doing it once to get the trophy started to feel really tedious, having to do it a second time because I missed one of the missions would have been even worse. But overall, combat was really fun. I definitely hit a point where I got a build that was broken enough that I didn't really need to do anything with it anymore. In a lot of the fights I got through occasionally on pure luck, actually frequently on pure luck, just because I got a good slot roll at a time when I happened to need it. Although, I will say, beating Minerva on hard mode was incredibly satisfying. I'm really glad I was able to pull that off, especially at my first attempt of this stream. Especially because I knew from researching the fight beforehand that they had Ultima, and I had not seen Ultima in action in any of my attempts. And it does still worry me that it seemed like anytime Ultima hit, it scaled up in damage, which basically meant it very rapidly could have turned into a one-hit kill move at any point, and it was possibly a one-hit kill move during the entire end phase of that fight. Although finding out that roulette abilities mid-fight canceled whatever active ability they have really helped me with the fight. I do wish that I had kept Lucky Stars in, because that would have probably made the fight go substantially faster. But making sure I went into the fight with Heavenly status did help a bit. I will say the very final act, I really like everything after Genesis. I felt like I didn't like the stuff with Genesis. It felt Like, I was just beating up a drama student, and then I just kind of left them. And it was very strange. But overall, I enjoyed the story. I can't think of any major complaints I have about it. I like Zack as a character. Thought he was fun. He's a nice alternative to Cloud, who tries to be much more serious and brooding. It's nice to have a character kind of being the basis for him having a more happy-go-lucky attitude. And I am looking forward more to what the remake series has to offer, since it's supposed to be continuing at the end of this year. Before it releases in December, I will have to finish up the rest of the DLC stuff I have. Not for this game, but for the other FF7 remake. So that theme, though. But yeah. I will say I didn't expect the playthrough for this to take as long, and I am glad that I did all the grinding off stream, because the grinding... I guess I don't like Materia Fusion in this. Materia Fusion in this was tedious, convoluted, and not fun. Like, having abilities that I wasn't allowed to upgrade the stats on, because if I fused them with anything, it would just make them a different materia, even if I, like, fused it with itself. Like, it felt like there was two, and also that I hit a point in materia fusion where I couldn't progress forward to, like, the ultimate abilities until I actually looted them from random missions. Seemed very weird that, like, there isn't a straight line through the entire materia fusion tree where I could theoretically get any ability. I have to, at some point, get the late term abilities in order to fuse the best abilities. I couldn't, like, just stack up every ability up until that point. There's a hard cutoff point that I really didn't like. For example, like, the Firaga tree should have just gone into triple fire. There's no reason it shouldn't have, other than I guess they didn't have a triple blizzard. And then from there, like, the only way to try Thunder or try Fire was to loot them, and then individually buff them, which just felt bad. Although on the counterpoint, I did like the roulette system. I thought it added a neat feature to the fights. It gave me random options throughout the fight to deal with the situation, and occasionally the buffs carried me, if not just outright giving me a neat boost. Whether it was boosting my health, refilling my magic, or refilling the AP gauge, it always gave me something to work with, even if the roll I got wasn't the best. And then there's the occasionally incredible rolls where I got, like, invincible and just was able to sweep a fight, or avoid a massive hit. They were completely chance-based. Although I do think they should have given the... I guess it was available very early on, I just didn't commit hard enough to missions. Like, I would have liked to have some of those different materia types early on that gave me specific roles more frequently. Or like a way in the game to naturally build up an emotional state with the characters so I don't have to rely on those. But this is a part of a PSP game, so I do have to temper my expectations a little bit. But I'm glad I finished this, and again, I'm still waiting to see that platinum pop. It's possible I might have to go back to the mission screen, but I think since I got the item for it, I don't remember if I saw the trophy pop or not. If I don't get the platinum, then I'll check which one I missed.
is Cloud. Soldier. First class.
Thanks to you, Zach. Trophy earned. Soldier of Legend earned. My Living Legacy Platinum Trophy earned. After Clink finishes the game, you can start a new game with certain data carried over by loading the cleared game state. Data will be carried over as follows: level, experience, SP, acquired guild, playtime, items, except some, materia, equipment status, except some, DMW progress, DMW limit break or limit verge count, Buster Sword proficiency, and mail and useful tips. I'm gonna leave the manual one there. Save it there. I guess I'll load it just to see what it does. Oh, that's save clear data. And yeah, that's the end of Crisis Core. I think there's only one part of the Final Fantasy VII storyline that kind of confuses me. It's, I guess, the point between Cloud getting the sword and like becoming a first-class soldier. I don't know if like he actually does or if he just like if it's like a self-proclaimed rank. Like, did Cloud go back to the city and then work his way up the ranks, or... And is there any reason as to why, say, his memories and stuff start to get jumbled with Zack? Or is that all like a side effect of being in the pod? Granted, I don't think they really went into the details of what experiments they were doing in the pod, other than... like, he got Mako poisoning and then came out of it. And those are the only 2 test subjects left, but there were presumably more. But that's gonna be it for me today. And let's go say hi to Garth, who is having a birthday stream for Legend of Dragoon. Speaking of older RPG series. And yeah, it's nice to finally be done with this. It took a lot longer than I wanted, but I'm glad I got it done. Let me actually just go to that trophy page. I'll be right back. Okay. Surprisingly high percentage of players got it. Granted, I know that the whole thing can be done on normal difficulty, and then you can bump up the difficulty to get the hard mode one. But yeah, a little over 2 months of getting all these at various points. 51 trophies in total. And let's go say hi to Garth. So, that leaves... the games that I have that I'm still working on are Forspoken, which I have 2 chapters left of story, and then I'll probably go for the platinum for that. Pokemon, which I have some number of badges that I still have to do. Xenoblade 3, which I think I'll try to finish. I'll make Xenoblade 3 my priority after I finish up the platinum for Forspoken. Because for Forspoken, I expect it to be like 2 streams, then I'm done. Xenoblade I expect to be 3 or so, and Pokemon I could get it done in 1 long stream or probably 2 shorter ones. And then I'll decide what I want to stream after that. Part of me is leaning towards going back to my old Breath of the Wild playthrough to finish that up before the sequel comes out. I know that I'm probably going to get the new Yakuza, or Like a Dragon game that's coming out at the end of the month, so that's an option. Or I've considered One Piece Odyssey or going back to Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, but I'll just kind of play by ear. That being said, go as I had a Garth, and bye-bye.